The following video was recorded on location in my state-of-the-art office in the corner of my first floor apartment. If you like what you're about to hear, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell in the upper right corner.
Hi, Patrick Dream Evil.
Hi, how's it going?
It's good. Yeah, cool.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this interview.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Well, awesome. Well, of course, we're here to talk about the brand new album from Dream Evil, 6, which is available now through Century Media. So, now that the album has been out since Friday, what has the reception been to the album so far?
It's been quite a good review-wise. It's kind of 50-50. Some really like it, and some think it's kind of so-so. But from the fans so far, the reception has been totally awesome. They really like it, and they give it the thumbs up. So we're happy about it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. As a longtime fan of the band, I love the fact that I'm able to help promote the brand new album, and the fact that it is such a great album as well. I mean, I definitely love where you guys are at this stage in the band.
Cool, thanks.
Oh yeah, not a problem. So how did the songwriting process begin for 6?
Actually, this one is pretty different from the rest. Normally we used to write songs like some of us write songs, sing. I write my songs totally complete. Peter and Niklas used to work together. They do some riffing and then some vocal harmonies, and then we all collaborate in a full. Frederick is doing some riffing, and then go to one of the other guys to complete the song and whatever. But this time we just wrote as many songs as we could. I wrote in totally 8 songs, complete songs with the vocals and music, and everything was written and done. I think Peter and Niklas did 6 or 7 together, and Fredrik was on 1. And then we just sat down with the 16 songs we had and listened to it, and took it, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, and then we just recorded it as it was. We didn't actually change anything. We just recorded the 16 songs we wrote, and 12 of them is on the album, and the rest is going to be released on some extra materials and the limited edition stuff.
Oh, very cool. And it's cool. It's good to see that after all this time that the songwriting style can change as well as in the way that you write songs, because you never want to feel like you're just rehashing yourself, or you don't want to lose any inspiration. And when you do things differently as far as how to write songs, I mean, that can really rejuvenate stuff in the band.
Yeah, absolutely. It opens a different kind of view on it, and still to keep the vibe of Dream Evil. I'm more into the harder type of music. I'm not really a fan of these power metal things. I'm more like a thrash death kind of guy. So my songs was very, very heavy compared to the other stuff. But with Niklas vocals on it, it still is Dream Evil, so to speak. So it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, and you can definitely hear that. I mean, specifically from the first part of the album. I mean, you got like the self-titled song for the band Dream Evil. Antidote is so different than Dream Evil. Creature of the Night is so different than those songs. I mean, it's great to see that kind of diversity on a Dream Evil album this time around.
Thank you.
So, with that, I mean, you said yourself that you don't listen to as much power metal, and you go more towards the harder music. How does that reflect your playing when it comes to Dream Evil? I mean, how much does it affect your style?
You mean the drumming, or?
Oh yeah, like a drum-wise. I mean, like, like when you listen to more death metal and black metal, I mean, does that make you want to try to venture into that stuff with Dream Evil, or do you know to stay the course with Dream Evil, or how do you go about it?
I think I stay the course a bit. I got some influences more riff-wise because I play the guitar as well. So When playing the guitar, I think about it more like maybe a death metal riff or thrash metal riff or whatever. But then the drumming, I try to keep it more meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? And drive the song, not play so much technical stuff, more easy grooving, straightforward type of drumming. So when you listen to it live, it's easy to connect to, and you don't have to put an effort into listening to the song. It just comes right at you, and you don't need to focus so much. You can just relax and enjoy it. So I try to keep it simple, the drumming, actually.
Yeah, and that's one thing that always drew me to Dream Evil. I mean, with power metal, I mean, there's so many of the stereotypes musically of just doing tremolo picking as fast as you can, making the double bass match those guitar riffs. But with Dream Evil, I mean, it really focuses on melodies and harmonies, and everyone in the job is doing their parts, showing off in the right cases, but otherwise just writing for the song. And I think that's an approach that really needs to take forward more.
I agree. I think actually the important thing is the song. It's not the technical mumbo jumbo, so to speak. It's cool to do a nice fill here and there and a cool fill on the guitar or a nice lead or whatever, but you need to focus on the song and to the vocalist. So, I mean, we try not to take any attention away from that, because that is what you listen to, and you don't need to be annoyed by all these technical things in the background. So there's a place for that too, and you can do that when it's at the right time, so to speak.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a great technical guitar solo or a cool drum intro or something like that, but when that becomes the focal point of the band, the songs lose its merit.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you should do a comparison with another band in way of how we look at the music, I think you could compare it a bit to the Foo Fighters. They can play a lot if they want to. They don't. They keep it less is more all the time. Focus on the song and just keep it straightforward. And we kind of do that too, but with metal, so to speak. And I think we made it more clear on 6 than any other album before that.
Yeah, and that was another thing I was going to bring up, too. Also, a great comparison with the Foo Fighters. I mean, both you and Foo Fighters have such great, catchy, memorable sounds on every album, and it's great to have that approach. But with 6, it even stands out even more, because it really does feel like that you guys just wrote the songs to make good songs, rather than feeling like you have to appease the crowd, or the label, or fans, or anyone. You just wanted to make the music you wanted to make, and I always appreciate that as a fan.
Yeah, thank you, and I do agree. We focused on the kind of music and the songs that we wanted to listen to ourselves, that we like, and we just, well, this is good. We don't need to add anything. We don't need to take anything away. This is a good song as it is. We try not to overcompensate with shit that's not necessary. We just keep it simple, and we like the song as we heard it from the beginning. We leave it at that. So, yeah.
And with that, I mean, with you writing a majority of the album yourself, how do you go about writing a Dream Evil song? I mean, do you have, like, ideas in mind, or do you just start writing as you're playing, or how does that go about?
For me personally, I'm always getting in kind of a mood, like, well, tonight I'm going to write a song. And then I sit down and I write a song. I do the riffing. I try to find a cool riff or a good hook vocal-wise. And then I take it from there, and I'm not stopping until the song is done. So if it's done by 3 a.m. or 9 o'clock at night, it doesn't really matter, because I need to finish it. So, because the vibe that I have when I sit down, that's the vibe I want to hear when I listen to the complete song. And if I do a bit today and a bit tomorrow and a bit after that, I lose the vibe. So I need to push it down and just get it done. Sometimes it's a good song, sometimes it's not a good song. But the 8 songs that I got on the album, I got 6 songs on the album and 2 for additional tracks. But for the songs I wrote this way, I had a good vibe. I showed it to the guys and they loved it. So we didn't change anything in them. So it's just the vibe I have from the beginning and the way I want it to sound. It's the way it sounds. So I'm very happy.
So with that, what was the first song that you started writing for on the album?
The absolute first song, I think it's Antidote, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, it definitely has that nice aggressive edge to it, and it's great seeing it that early in the album too, after like a stadium anthem like Dream Evil is. I mean, it's great to see Antidote with that nice speed up level to it, and that nice cool guitar riffing and everything, and it's great to see all of those different styles within the album. I mean, it just makes it a fun listen to.
Thanks. I agree. I think it's a good album. It's diverse, and it's got everything from early 80s metal to 90s rock, into some 90s death metal to 2000 power metal. You know, it's kind of a big vibe, and we got some. I don't know if you heard it, but I think it's. I think it's the Murdered Mind. We have Hammond on the bridge, and that was also a feeling. I got this. This is fucking Deep Purple, man. We need to get the vibe up. And Fredrik had an idea on it that, hey, we should put some Hammond here. So he recorded the Hammond on it, and we just if it's a good vibe and it sounds like something we like, we just go with it. So yeah.
Yeah, and it was great to hear that too. I mean, that's not something that you overly hear in this style, is the Hammond organ, even though Deep Purple has inspired so many bands of that style. I mean, it's great to hear like a real authentic Hammond organ used again.
That's really cool, actually. Very fun to have on an, if you can call it a modern album, but still have a instrument from the early 70s. And it fits into the album as it is now, which is very cool, I think.
And with that, I mean, it's always hard to find the right representation to show off a new album. How did you guys go about picking what songs were going to be released as singles before the album came out?
Well, it was kind of a collaboration between what we felt in the band and what the record label felt. Vote, and we actually, from the beginning, I think we had as Broken Wings, but then some of the guys in the band wanted to release Creature of the Night instead. The label, Marcus, the guitar player, and me, we still wanted to release Broken Wings, because we thought it was a kind of a good priest type song, but it ended up to be Creatures of the Night, so it would be more diverse release for the singles, so there would be 3 singles standing out. I'm not completely happy with the choice of that, but still that's the way it went. And
yeah, I can say from a fan standpoint, I mean, Broken Wings is one of the more standout songs to the album on me, but with having Creature of the Night on there, really getting that more melodic, ballady kind of sound on there, it's a good match with Dream Evil and Antidote, so it kind of shows off that the album has a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree on that. So maybe it was a good choice. It was just that when we did Broken Wings, that song came out twice as good as I had in mind from the beginning, because it's a bit high for Niklas to sing, and when I did the kind of I don't know what to call it, but I make some kind of guide vocals to it. I have a little lighter voice than Niklas. Mine goes higher, and I don't need to sing. I can just mark it out so he knows what I'm trying to do. And then when he tried to do it, he said, I think it's too high. And we all went, shit, what are we going to do with this then? Because if we go down, it's going to be an octave down, and it's going to be very low. So, okay, we tried to record it with the high vocals, and he did. And the song just took off. It became something far more cool than we thought it was going to be, because we really catch that priest vibe still with the kind of Fear Factory riff in the beginning. It was really, really cool how it ended up.
Yeah, like I said a little bit ago, I mean, Broken Wings is one of my favorite standout tracks on the album, and it is such a good fit towards the end of the album as well, because with it being so diverse, you can't really tell where it's going on the first listen, and when you get to Broken Wings, I mean, it's such a great change of pace to be able to hear something like that towards the end.
It's the what is it? Is the second song from the end, or what is it? I don't remember.
I'm actually trying to remember. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it is the second from the last, right before We Are Forever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when we did the running order and how we was going to put the songs, I said that the last thing you will remember from the album is what you hear at the end. We need to have a really good, strong last song, but definitely have a good kick out again at the end, so you know that it starts again, the album. So that's why I think we put Broken Wings far back on the album, so just to get it going again.
And that makes me really happy as well, that you guys care so much about the order of the track listing, rather than feeling like putting the strongest songs toward the beginning and having the rest end up as filler or something like that. You guys actually do care about what songs go where on an album, and for a fan like myself, I mean, that makes me want to go and listen to it from start to finish and not get bored with the album at all, because there is so much variety going on there, and all the songs just flow together so well in track order.
Yeah, thank you. I totally agree, and I always been very disappointed when you put an album on and they have like 6 fantastic songs and they have 5 or 6 that is not so good, and the first 6 are fantastic and the last half of the album just sucks. If they put it in another order, you would appreciate the songs in a totally different manner. And I don't want to go, we don't want to go with Dream Evil that way, that you listen to the first 4, 5, maybe 6 songs and then you just stop the album because you know that you don't want to hear the rest. You don't make time for it. If you have a song that is kind of a 50-50 type song and it's between 2 really good songs, then you can listen to it and appreciate it as a little pause in the album, and then come back and get a kick out of the songs that are not your favorites, you know what I mean?
Yeah, without question. I mean, when a fan listens to the album, the fan has no idea what they feel are going to be the standout songs. I mean, it could be the very first single from the album, it could be the last song on an album, it could be one in the middle the band didn't think about as much as other songs, because every song does matter on an album, because when you release it under your name, it's going to have some kind of impact, whether it's minimal or a lot of impact. So when you treat the songs especially well with everything else that's going on in an album, it's showing that every song really does matter.
Thank you. I agree. I think you need to put an effort in the songs that you make and where you put them, because an album is just not an album. It needs to have a little bit of thought and a little bit of build-up, and you need to have a view on it as an artist to how you want it to be viewed on from the fans. I want them to listen to the album as I listen to the album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, without question. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, there are a lot of bands out there who are just putting out music as an excuse to put out an album or an excuse to go out on tour, but those albums never seem to last or have that lasting impression as when a band really puts their heart and soul into an album, and that's exactly what you guys did with 6. I mean, I can hear throughout the entire album that these songs matter to you, the track order meant something, the diversity that's going on in there. It's just such a great range for the band, and I love seeing that.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we're really happy about it, and actually, I haven't listened to it since it got released, because we have heard it so many times before, sitting listen to the track order and how to do things, and then we need a pause for it. And I actually heard on Swedish radio, I think it was the last Thursday, they played Antidote, and I reacted. Actually, this was cool. This is us. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard it in a bit, and it took a couple of seconds before geez, this is our song. What a good song. So that's kind of fun too.
Oh, without question. So what's next for the band?
We're gonna do some festivals during the summer, and we have some gigs scheduled wintertime 2018, and then I think we're gonna do. It's not official yet, but I think we're going to do some some dates in the States, but we're not 100% sure about that yet, booking-wise. But it's going to be some dates in the States, guaranteed.
Oh, that would be fantastic if that does come to fruition. I have yet to have the honored to be able to see you guys live, and especially when you have such a great album to be able to promote with Six. I mean, it would be great to be able to see those songs live, plus the classic albums from albums before.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to do the first set list for the band now when we're going to do some gigs, to see how the new songs fit in with the old. And I mean, from our point of view, when we did Six, I said from the beginning, together with Frederick a lot, we agreed on that all the songs on this album, every song is going to be able to play live and do it as well as the album, if not better, live. And if we have that approach when you go into the studio, you know that you could lift it a bit when you play it live, without. I mean, you don't have to save the energy when you record it. That's not what I mean, but you could add something to it live, maybe a little bit faster or a little bit heavier, or to have that approach when you record, that you know that this song is going to be great live, even if we're never going to play it live, you could easily put it on a set list and be fine with it if the fans want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was getting back to what I was talking about earlier about you actually caring about the songs, and you never know what songs the fans are really going to take to on an album. When you focus on being able to play those songs live rather than just thinking of those songs are filler, or no, there's too much orchestration to be able to play live, or whatever the case is, when you craft the songs to be able to be performed live, and the audience will always appreciate that more.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, that's when I was a kid and went to the venues to look at bands I loved. I mean, like early Pantera, for example, when they did songs that you thought they're never going to play live, because they had a reception of some album with some songs, and they might not be favorites to the band, but the crowd went nuts because it was the songs that you wanted to hear, but you never expected to hear live. You know what I mean? And when they deliver that, I mean, it made your night. And that's the way I want to see it with Dream Evil. If we get 15, 20 people in the crowd cheering for a song, it's not impossible to do it. You don't have to be prepared to, no, we can't play this. We have to play after this set list. This time, the approach was that every song on this album is going to be able to play live, even if we don't have rehearsed it or anything. It's just going to be boom, straight on.
So with the ideals in mind with that, how are you going about picking other songs from previous albums to be able to pick live?
Normally we kind of check what has worked before live, of course. We know what songs are played much at iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that. And sometimes we have even made a kind of a test with fans. We have put a question out on Facebook or a question on our website, and just well, it's time to do a set list. What songs would you like to hear? And then they can write any songs they want. And then we had this kind of an app that puts them in after how many votes they get. They get in a running order, and then we just took that and we just played it after that. So that has happened. And then of course we have done this classical. You know, this has worked before, we do it again, but still being in the age that we are, we need to have a bit of what do you say, a bit of inspiration to do it as well, play something fresh, something new, even if it's an old song, but it's new to me because I haven't played it in 12 years, you know.
Yeah, and that's very important as a band. I mean, you never want the crowd to see you playing something like the Book of Heavy Metal and you just look bored on stage because you're playing this for the millionth time live. I mean, you want every song to come off feeling natural and fun for the band, and when you do get to go back and play songs from the past that you haven't played as much, or you're playing some brand new material, it inspires the songs that you do play that are staples in the set and make them that much more fun because you know that there's other material to go with it this time around.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I remember when we did the tour on United, it was the same thing. United had a little other twist than the earlier. And when we played the old songs, we kind of made them into the United mode, if you know what I mean. And it was the same with In the Night. And with this album, since it's been so long since we released the previous album, it's been 7 years. Now every song to us feels like this vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can totally see that too. I mean, like you just said, 7 years between albums. I mean, it's great to have that kind of inspiration once again. And sometimes that just takes a little bit of time of just not focusing so much on songwriting and playing shows and just gathering everything again just to rejuvenate yourselves. And with the inspiration and the power that I'm hearing with Six, I imagine like any songs that you guys choose to play live are just going to sound amazing because of the rejuvenation that's going on in the band.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been a lot of things going on in our private lives. It's been everybody's got a lot of kids, and yeah, I mean, they're into sports and they do stuff, and we all work, and you know, there's been life going on, and doing this at the same time, and then it's been. I mean, sometimes during this period, we have made like 2 months, been really into it. Everybody in the band stays in contact all the time. We speak a lot with each other on the phone. We have these messengers, apps and everything. And then all of a sudden it's just like, we got to chill for a bit because my kid is doing blah, blah, blah. And everybody kind of just respects that and leave each other space. And then somebody comes along with a song again, and, you know, well, I'm into this one. What do you think, guys? And then it starts again. And we're into it, write 3-4 more songs maybe. And then back to this kind of pause mode. And then, so it's been kind of back and forth. But when we actually said that, okay, we're going to record this thing, then we just creamed it together and just ended up doing it.
Yeah, and that's another great thing to hear too. Rather than feeling that pressure of you have to release your next album in 18 months and you have to do X amount of weeks of touring per year, that you're able to do it at your own pace, make sure that family obligations are taken care of, and being able to just let the songs come as they will, make them sound as good as they can without any time restrictions or anything like that, and just make it the best possible album that you can.
Yeah, and that was it. We said that we're not going to release anything just to release it, not after this time. If we're going to release something, we really need to release something that we feel, well, this is really good, we're really happy with it, and we feel good about it, and we're having fun, because that's prior number one. We really need to have fun now, and that's been kind of the core of the band, to always have fun, and with the kind of unbloody seriousness, if you know what I mean. But still, I mean, we find that spark again without ever really losing it. It's just like when we wanted to get it together again, release another album, we did it, as you said, on our pace, not forced or anything. And then when we contacted the label and showed them the demos, they flipped, went off the roof, and they just said, you got to put, guys, because I mean, there's a lot of good songs, just record this and so we can release it.
Oh, it's great to hear when the label is really truly behind the music that they have. And with Dream Evil, I mean, it's so great to see that after this time that you guys were able to make such a great collection of songs for Six, which I know is going to end up as one of my favorite albums of the year, just because of how natural everything sounds. The songwriting is just so brilliant and not forced, and it's great to see that you guys are all on the same level once again, just like getting this great work done with Dream Evil, doing the right amount of shows, and being able to give this album the full promotion it really truly deserves.
Yeah, yeah, that is cool. We feel the same way, and actually that's also funny, because this is the first Dream Evil album which all the songs, all the drum takes are one take on each song. There's no clips, there's no cut-ins or whatever on the drums. It's just like, we need to get the vibe, and we need to get the song. I wanted to get the drum, like, I played it live, I played it for you, and then this take wasn't good, I do another one. I didn't want to go in and just the stick was the bridge wasn't a good part, we do that again. I did the whole fucking thing. So I recorded 16 songs without one drum clip, and that's the first, actually.
And that is just so amazing to hear, especially with technology making things so easy to be able to cut and paste as needed. I mean, when you're playing a live show, you can't stop the song and redo a take of a song. You got to play it from beginning to end. And I think you should do that on a record as well. I mean, especially when it comes to the drums. I mean, sometimes you can be a timeline everything just right to make it seem like there was no cut and paste, but when you really go out there and do everything in one take and make that the best take you possibly can, that makes the drums so much more refreshing to hear.
Yeah, and you can actually hear it, because there is some songs where I can hear, well, that fill, I could do that a lot better. And I mean, why did I do that there? And blah, blah, blah. But the whole feel of that take is exactly what the song needed. And then I backed off, and the guys was like, well, it's really, really good, blah, 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 blah. And I was, okay, but if you really like it, it's okay. I can live with that, because I think the take is really good. And I mean, I don't have any prestige in that kind of thing. I know I can play some things better, and I can maybe play some things worse as well, but I'm happy with it. When I listen to it now, I can actually hear and feel that the feeling I had when I recorded it, and I can hear that it's a one take, a drum take, and I'm really proud of that, actually.
Yeah, as you should be. I mean, just the fact that you really did go out and make everything in one take with the drums. I mean, the songwriting that you did for a majority of the album, everything that you guys put into the band just made for possibly my favorite Dream Evil album to date. And just everything that you guys do with Six, with the songwriting, the diversity, the melodies, the harmonies, everything that you guys are doing. I mean, it just makes for such a fun listen. And I think everyone that has either picked up the album or they check out this interview to be able to see what the band is all about, I think they're really gonna see how inspired you guys are and find an amazing album for 2017.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We're happy about it, and I can't wait to play these songs live, so it's gonna be great.
Well, awesome. Well, again, thank you so very much for taking the time to talk to me, to promote everything that's going on with Dream Evil and Six, which of course is available now through Century Media, and hopefully everyone out there is going to be keeping up to date with what you guys are doing as far as festival shows and upcoming touring in the future. Before we're done here, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I haven't brought up yet?
No, I think we covered it all. No, I don't have anything I want to add. I think you did a great job by giving me a lot of thought through questions. So no, I'm happy.